Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zack, and today I am driving a 2025 Chevy Corvette E-Ray. Behind me is a 6.2 liter V8, and up front is an electric motor, meaning this is the first ever not only hybrid Corvette, but all-wheel drive Corvette. Now, I am super excited to share this with you for two reasons. First of all, it's been several years since I've driven the C8, so I'm happy to get back in the saddle. I drove it when it debuted and then haven't really thought about it again. The second reason is the fact that what I stated above is that this is the first hybrid Corvette. This is the first all-wheel drive Corvette, and so we have a lot of firsts to get under our belt. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. Last but not least, huge thank you to Autobahn Country Club here in Joliet, Illinois, for allowing me to borrow their E-Ray for today's video. They are the premier motorsports park in Illinois. Absolutely fantastic. Please go check them out with the information down below. But let's get back to that hybrid drivetrain. Well, for the E-Ray, they offered it with that standard 6.2 liter V8. We've known that, we've loved it, it's a great V8, and that's what comes with the standard C8 Corvette. However, they have now paired it to a small electric motor, and I say small, it makes about 160 horsepower on its own, but it's positioned up front, meaning the V8 handles the rear wheels and the electric motor handles the front wheels. Together, it makes it an absolutely wonderful driving experience. It does change it from the standard C8 just a little bit. Through corners, you have a lot more confidence because yes, that back end wants to kick out, but the front end is kind of keeping it within check and saying, hey, I'm pulling, you're pushing, let's work together. And it actually handles the racetrack a lot better than the standard Corvette. Now, of course, you can go up to the Z06 and now the ZR1 and make crazy amounts of horsepower and whatnot. This is around the 600 mark. I'll put it up on screen. It is lovely. It is lovely, lovely, lovely. And the driving experience is what really sells it. Oh. You get this like V8 American muscle, which you're normal, you're used to with Corvettes. But then you get this high-pitched EV noise, and then you go, oh, something else is going on. And that's awesome! It's so fun! Like I said, paired to it is an 8-speed automatic. This is the same 8-speed that they use traditionally. It's a dual clutch. It's an incredibly quick transmission, and it's a very, very fun one at that. Last but not least, as I mentioned, this is the all-wheel drive Corvette. So how does it feel to drive the C8? Well, besides, as I mentioned with the engine, pulling out of corners, blah, 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 it does have a stiff ride. It's a sports car. You're gonna have to expect that. And visibility is not great, but however, this is kind of a budget supercar, and so supercars are not easy to see out of. Supercars don't ride well, and so it checks both of those boxes. It really gives you that Ferrari, Lamborghini, McLaren experience for less money. I know the sticker isn't easy for everyone, but it is significantly less money. I'll just give you a little bit of juice here. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh, and there's no wheel spin. There's no fluffing about. There's no hemming or hawing. You just go, man. You go, and you go, and go, and go, and then when you're done going, you go a little bit more. Oh, man. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I do have a digital gauge cluster. This is the final year for this gauge cluster. They've updated it for 2026. I like it. It's actually pretty easy to read, which I don't like a lot of other GM gauge clusters because they're kind of muddy. This actually looks very good, feels good, operates well. On the steering wheel on the left, we do have our cruise control and favorites button, as well as our Z mode that basically shuts everything down and says, look, you want hardcore, here's hardcore. and that is a wonderful button. Off to the right, we do have our heated steering wheel, selectors for that gauge cluster screen, as well as volume, so the right side is kind of boring. Off to the left, we do have a small climate control vent. We have our head-up display adjustments and power parking brake. Moving out of the door, we have our Bose performance speakers, power mirror adjustments, and power windows, as well as memory seats all the way at the back. Moving into the center, we do get our small infotainment display. This does feel relatively small. However, tons of great things to love in here. We do have Google integrated, which is very, very nice. My Chevrolet, things like that. We do have a backup camera, as well as we do have a nose camera. So because the nose of this car is pretty low, it will actually allow you to look directly at the nose, and that's a very nice thing to have. Now down into the center, we have the shifter, standard stuff there. We have traction control off, our nose raiser, so we can actually pick up the front end of the car a little bit to get over speed bumps, as well as our front view camera button, and our drive mode button for the performance traction, turn it into race mode and whatnot. And then we have cup holders that sadly fail the big friggin' bottle test, but I don't think anyone was surprised. And then we get the wall of buttons. The C8 Corvette has kind of become known for this wall of buttons. However, sadly, well, for wall of button fans, sadly in 2026, they have gotten rid of this. They've actually changed it and smoothed out these buttons and design for the next model year. But up here, we have dual zone climate, heated ventilated seats, and our climate controls all in one single row. I think this is kind of funny, but this is what Chevy decided to do. Then we do get a center console and the seats. The seats are pretty aggressive. They hug you very, very well. As a bigger guy, they're not super friendly to me. However, I understand that I am not what they designed these seats for. They designed these seats for racers, and I'm not quite that, at least not yet. All right, up front of the C8, I apologize, it's gonna be kind of loud because we are next to a racetrack, but double click it here and it will pop the frunk. I'm very curious how much we get. Oh, that's, correct me if I'm wrong, that's like the normal frunk. Now, what's impressive about it is that there is an electric motor somewhere up here and they didn't sacrifice the frunk. That is really, really cool to see. I was expecting it to be blocked off or maybe only like this deep or something. No, you get a full frunk. That is really nice to see. So around the back of the E-Ray, we actually do still get a trunk. So double click it on the key fob, lift it up, and you do get a trunk. Surprisingly, you actually get a trunk. Now, obviously, you get a beautiful view of that V8, but you can fit a set of golf clubs in the back of your C8. You still get that luxury, even though it is a mid-engine beast, you still get awesome things to play with. So just pop it right back down like this, grab the handle, and it'll suck itself in. Very nice. I love the look of the E-Ray. I think it looks fantastic. I love the color matched fenders and things that they have added for it. And you know what? The C8 has grown on me as it has gotten older. When it originally debuted, I thought it was awkward. I thought it was a little weird, but as most people predicted, as it got older, as they progressed with it, it got a lot more handsome. And so I think at the end of the day, this is a good looking Corvette. It does look very Corvette-y, and I think they did a very nice job with it. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving the Corvette E-Ray here in 2025? Well, I think this car is absolutely amazing. It really ruffles my feathers in the best way possible. You get all of that V8 love, and you have that extra assist up at the front with that electric motor. It is the best of both worlds. This is a hybrid as much as a Prius is a hybrid, but this uses the hybridness as its benefit rather than for fuel economy. Everything in here feels heightened. It feels more. It feels better. If the regular C8 is going to a baseball game, this is going to a baseball game with a cold drink and a big hot dog with all the fixins. As red as it is, no ketchup on that hot dog. Chicago style through and through. This is a ball game where it's 75 degrees. You're with your best friends you haven't seen in a while. You're laughing. This is a guttural laugh that hurts to talk the next day because you laughed so hard. That's how good this vehicle is. I'm not saying the standard C8 is bad. I'm not saying that the standard C8 doesn't deserve its place in the lineup, but this is just better. It takes everything that the Corvette was and just makes it better. If you are here to complain that the fact that it is, oh, it's not a real Corvette because it's not rear-wheel drive only, it's not a real Corvette because it's a hybrid, shut your pie hole. Shut your beautiful pie hole. This is as much of a Corvette as any other because the Corvette has always been the pinnacle of a sports car in that era. The pinnacle of sports cars in the late 1950s was just a lazy V8 and no roof. It did that. The pinnacle of a sports car in the 1990s was something sleek, something that looked like it could pierce through any object, and the Corvette did that. And now a sports car is a high-tech piece of machinery that uses every propulsion device to its benefit. That is what the E-Ray is able to do. If this is this wild, I can't imagine a Z06 or ZR1. Do you need it? No, but I am so happy to be driving this E-Ray here today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Autobahn Country Club for having me out here today to sample a couple vehicles and drive the E-Ray. This is such a wonderful piece of machinery. I am blown away. Autobahn Country Club is the premier motorsports membership here in Illinois. They have a wonderful track. Please check them out with the information down below. They have different events. If you want to learn how to drive on track, they have several schools to do so. It's just really, really a candy store for anyone who's into cars. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.